One of the first things I do with companies that I work with when it comes to disruption and innovation and those sorts of areas is I get about 5 to 10 people, somewhat senior but also lower level type job descriptions in a room, and we do a workshop. And whilst that might sound boring, the end of it, everyone's smiling. The reason for that is everybody's allowed to take their gloves off, okay? And it's called Kill Your Business, okay? What's really interesting about Kill Your Business is not only does it have a funny name, but it actually just gets everybody involved. It's a 2.5 hour process, and by the end of it you've got a very clear idea of what your priorities are, what you've got to fix, what you don't have to fix, and how people might be looking at your business a bit differently than you are. I'll take you through it really quickly, but the preface of it is that you have to spend a bit of time on it, and you have to usually really understand what you're looking to get out of it. So just bear that in mind as I sort of go through it. You're looking to really understand what's going to happen in your business, okay? So first and foremost, you've got to forget being polite in this. It's really important that you're absolutely brutal with yourself, okay, and others. That's one of the things I always get a little laugh from when it starts out, but it is very, very important. It's no room for politeness in this exercise. So the first step you've got to do is you've got to kill yourself. Now that sounds absolutely nuts when you actually say it out loud, but it's important, okay? Yourself is actually the business when you're talking about this, and you've got to ask yourself one killer question, okay? Now imagine you're your number one competitor. Write down as many ways as you can think that could end your business, all right? So that's your business, how your competitor is going to come after you. That usually takes about 45 minutes. Once you've done that, and that's a really long, grueling, difficult process, and everyone starts out being very kind, and at the end, everyone's going for it. What's really interesting about that is you get it from all levels. You get very senior things, but you also get very day-to-day things. Once you've got everything, you have to then put it in a matrix, and the book explains how to do that. And you start to see that some things are a priority, and some things you might not be able to do straight away, but you should work on in the long term. Step 2 is when you take that prioritized list and you decide to fix yourself, and you figure out how you're going to do that from a day-to-day basis all the way up to maybe a 2, 3, 5 year plan. It's a big deal, and it often, has a lot of friction in the room, and sometimes people go, I didn't realize that you were thinking in that sort of way. So this whole exercise brings people together. The third step is often the fun step, because you've had a sort of grueling maybe hour and a half doing those 2 steps, and the third step is when you get to have a go at your competitors. So then you put yourself in the other shoe and you say, right, imagine if our competitors were doing this, what would we say about them? And that's again about another 30 to 45 minutes, and it's an opportunity to then start seeing where the new opportunities are and where the holes are in their business model and how you go after them. So it's explained in a lot more detail in the book, but it's a great first step, and it's a great workshop you can do. I've done it with a lot of people, from Coca-Cola all the way through to agencies, and every time it's produced really, really good results.